Bonney has Luffy's devil fruit. Let me explain. Jewelry Bonney, one of the worst generation alongside our protagonist Monkey D. Luffy. She has been the focal point of One Piece's current arc, Egghead Island. Bonney has displayed strange and unique uses of her devil fruit, the HH fruit. This has left a lot of us wondering, what is the extent of her powers? In this video, I will be explaining why I believe that Jewelry Bonney, just like Monkey D. Luffy, possesses the power of the sun god Nika, how this may have happened, and even highlighting the similarities between the powers of the two characters. But before any of that, you like One Piece, we do One Piece, hit that like button, it's free. Share with a friend, leave a comment, help press that subscribe button, it's also free. And you would help push my small channel in the algorithm. Now, how are Bonney and Luffy's devil fruits the same? Now, Bonney and Luffy's powers are similar in many ways. Keep in mind that the Gum Gum fruit's powers is actually imagination. Imagination. The powers that the Gum Gum fruit grants you is that you could do anything you want with your imagination. If you've read the recent chapters of One Piece, Bonney has literally been making use of Gear 3 and Gear 4 looking attacks. Specifically, upon using Distortion Future, a future like Nika, Bonney was literally shown using the abilities of the Gum Gum fruit. All Bonney had to do is imagine herself aged up like Nika, gaining his physique and strength, which then allowed her to stretch and enlarge her arms. She actually used this to defeat Alpha from Cipher Pol 8. Now, speaking of imagination, Bonney and Luffy's imagination causes them to manifest different powers based on their own individual imaginations. Through Nika's power, of course. Luffy's wild imagination leads him to imagine himself all stretchy, bendy, cartoony, and things along those lines, while Bonney's imagination leads her to imagine herself as older, which is something that she's always wanted. She's always wanted to live past her disease and imagine herself as older. If anything, her being older is more suitable for the adventure that she's always wanted to go on. How you see Bonney manifest more reality warping imagination related attacks whenever she ages up or ages down her enemies. An interesting side note about their powers. Remember when Luffy would get turned into a child because of Gear 3? Well, Bonney's powers did the same thing to a bunch of Marines in Sabaody as well as Vegapunk in Egghead. I mean, it literally looks like the same power at play here. Now, enough about the similarities between their powers, because you're probably asking yourself, how does Bonney have the power of Nika? Especially considering that Luffy has the devil fruit. Well, the answer to this is actually very simple and very likely. Bear with me for a second while I explain this. Now, the 5 elders of the world government previously had the sun god Nika fruit with them. That is before Shanks stole it from them, of course. Now, while the sun god Nika fruit was in the hands of the world government could have easily cloned the fruit. I mean, it's a Zoan, and the Zoan type fruits are the most easily clonable. Hell, they even have access to Dr. Vegapunk if they need him for that. All I'm saying is that it could have easily been cloned before Shanks came along and stole the fruit. We also know that the 5 elders of the world government have a vested interest in the sun god Nika fruit. They tried to capture it multiple times throughout history only for it to evade them. They greatly feared the awakening of the devil fruit by Monkey D. Luffy and tried to stop it. Hell, they even went to the extent of sending Warlord of the Sea Bartholomew Kuma to go murder child Monkey D. Luffy, only for him to be stopped by his father, Monkey D. Dragon, who is also the leader of the revolutionary army. Look, either way, the point is, the sun god Nika fruit, which is a fruit that the 5 elders have a vested interest in, was in their hands at one point. And knowing that this specific devil fruit tends to evade them, they could have easily cloned it before then administering that cloned fruit's extract into Jewelry Bonney as an experiment. Now, I want you to remember 2 points. Number 1 is that the government held possession of the human fruit model Nika at one point. And number 2 is that they have a vested interest in this devil fruit that keeps evading them, to the point where they would try to hide the devil fruit's name, change it to the Gum Gum fruit, send Warlord Bartholomew Kuma to attempt and murder child Luffy for eating the fruit, and later on sending CP0 to ensure Luffy's death before he can awaken it. Knowing how interested the 5 elders are in this devil fruit and the fact that they possess the ability to clone Zoan devil fruits, how are you gonna tell me that they didn't even at least try to clone it? All I'm saying is that the fruit extract that was administered into Jewelry Bonney's system stemmed from the lineage factor of the human fruit model Nika. Again, at one point they held on to the thing and were greatly interested in it. Maybe the fruit extract was the only thing that they could hold on to, as the actual devil fruit kept evading them, as revealed in chapter 1044 right before Luffy awakened his devil fruit. Either way, what I'm saying is that St. J. Garcia Saturn administered the fruit extract from the lineage factor of the Nika fruit into Jewelry Bonney during his experiments, and that explains why Jewelry Bonney is currently currently using the same powers as Luffy or powers that are very similar to Luffy's. Of course, Saturn would have gotten his hands on the extract of the Nika fruit back when the government held on to the fruit before Shanks stole it and it evaded them. Either way, let me know what you think. Now, if you enjoyed this video or if you like One Piece, remember, we do One Piece. So hit that like button, it's free. Share with a friend, leave a comment. Help press that subscribe button, it's also free. And you'd help push my small channel on the algorithm. Besides that, the common question of the day is, do you think Bonney has Luffy's fruit? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a good one.